jump directly in the second part of the lecture that is concerning Milan. And of course, this some consideration that I did about relationship between artificial, natural artifice and artifact, etc., could be interesting or usable for the reflection that I did on the context of Milan. And before to start to told you some, and in some pills give you some indication about what could be possible for the future of Milan, I want to tell you a little bit a story about Milan. This is a map that I like very, very much because it's a medieval representation of Milan. It's a very simple circle with a wall, and inside some building without any clear organization, okay? Because the foundation of Rome was Gallo-Roman, so not Celtic, not Roman, but a sort of complex system of build in which it's very clear the presence of the water. Even if this water is not as London, Paris, this one is Rome, I suppose, and Berlin, etc., where the river are very present and the river define the future of a city, define the future shape of the city. In Milan, as you notice, there is no big river. It all looks like some small, I don't know, the correct name is, in Italy say torrenti, something very small and not big river. And also the other city as this one is Naples, Marseille, Ginevra, and Como, was founded close to some very important natural elements. So lake, sea, big river, that define a sort of strong relationship with this city and its own natural element surrounded it or very close to it. Milano looks like to live in a sort of amnesia of nature, because Milan, this one is the region surrounding Milan, and Milan is exactly here. As you notice, there is no big river close to Milano. This one is the biggest river is Ticino, 35 kilometers, and Po 50 kilometers. Big lake or north of Milan, but it's far away. So considering the fact that nowadays the city is very big, but in the past when it was founded, it was a very small city, and in the ancient period, 2,000 years ago, 35 kilometers was a huge distance. Milan was founded in a sort of amnesia of water, okay? But in reality, this one is not true, because as you know, this one, all the city on the flatland, Padana flatland, are close to the river. You notice Bergamo, that looks like not close to the river, is in top of a hill surrounded by two rivers. And Milan is in the middle of extensive systems of water without have any clear relationship with water. And surround Milan, there is 5 rivers, that is this one, from east to west, Ticino, Olona, Seveso, Lambro, and Adda, that define the water space around Milan, but that never was able to define the shape of the city. If you compare Milan with Paris, London, Berlin, and many other ones, you could have a huge list. You notice that the river define the future shape of the city and organize around this shape the future organization of the city. Milan, even if there is 5 rivers, because these pictures, there is only 2, but in the middle there is the other 3, have no clear relationship with this river. And this river wasn't able to define the shape of the city. What was interesting and able to define the shape of the city was another element, very important element in Milan, that is this water meadow. I don't know the correct name if you understand what does mean water meadow, but it's a very simple system that it was discovered by the monk in the abbey surrounding Milan. It's a system that uses the water that exists under the level of the city. And it's a system that with a very thin and gently slope use the water to clean, let me say, during the winter and during the summer, the field. So instead to have 2 degrees, you could have 15 degrees, because the water that we have under our feet is all time at the same temperature, 50 degrees, during the winter and during the summer. So during the winter, this water is able to squeeze the the ice, and during the summer it's able to refresh the earth. And so what's happened that this monk was able to have 8 times the production of the other flatland in the north side of Europe. And this one transformed it, this small piece of area, as you know, compared to Germany, France, some part of Spain, this piece of area is very, very small. Transform this piece of area in a sort of incredible place, able to produce an incredible richness. Okay, because of course in the Middle Age, the production of food was one of the most important topics for the different economies. You know, means cow means mealy means wind worms, etc., etc. And this one is very important because what's happened, all the rain that fall in the Alps, that's one, pass below, under the dry flat land, this one, yellow one, and reappear, and you notice this one is Alps, the brown one, the green, light green is dry flatland, and the dark green is the humid flatland. These systems of this water that fall down and rain in the Alps pass below and appear in natural way exactly in this line. So the real goal of Milan was to locate itself on the line of this one that is named Risorgive in Italy, where the water reappear in normal way. So this one is the huge river, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. This one is the city on the north side of Milan, and this one is the city on the south side of Milan. So till nowadays, remain empty because the richness of this place is already related and connected with the agriculture and not with the industry that occupy the dry flatland and maintain free the south part of the city. So as you notice, exactly less or more in the middle, in the middle of Milan appear this kind of small net, incredible small net of water that is profitable and usable for the agriculture. And this one was an incredible richness of Milan that defined the shape of Milan. Why define this one? Because during the time, using these systems, I jumped this one, some pictures, the Milanese region understood that the richness of Milan was to build a sort of huge system of channel, not only related to the south part of Milan, not only related to the agriculture, but related also to move goods from Switzerland to Germany, and for south to north, from Genova to north, from Venice, from Torino, using the water line. And so at the end, the shape of the city was defined by an artificial system of water, coming from natural one, but done by the human intervention. At the end, the shape of the city done by ring, okay, sequence of ring, a sequence of line that exit from the center to the periphery, was organized for a system of efficiency. So that come is interesting, the take is interesting from the nature, but organize this interesting element with a sort of efficient and technical system to improve the value of the water. So they take, nowadays, of course, we take water from Ticino at that point. The water arrives till Darsena and then back to Ticino. And again, in the same way, from Adda and go to the center of Milan, turn around the city and then back to Adda. And then in the 18th century, they built a new connection between the two channels and so on. And in the past, of course, Milan was completely organized by a systems of channel in the internal part of the city, defining the different ring, you know, 1, 2, and 3, and then something that cross in the center. Nowadays, remain only that one, that, you know, because it's some week ago, the municipality opened this new refurbishment of that public spaces, some trace of these two ancient channels that remain open. This one is a sequence of pictures that define what was the same. You notice the church and the church in the past and nowadays, again in the past and nowadays, close to San Marco Square, and again another church, a church and the channel that was buried during the fascist period when we decided to change completely the surface of the city and transform it from an element organized with water line and an element organized and suitable for car. But the city used again is trace, and so the same trace was changes only element that could use this one, but at the same time the dimension and the organization of the city remain the same. So in this sense, I try to fix for you some possibility, some element, and in case you want to reflect on the future of Milan, I list some options. The first one is to beyond the city boundaries, and one topic could be that in the farmland where there is care transformation systems of capability to use water, etc., why not to force the system of this water meadow and intensify production quality. We could obtain an agricultural park of over the 40,000 hectares surrounding Milan, so it could be one option to open our view in a new way, in a new relationship between Milan and this nature. In the urban space, you know this one because it's very close to the city. Of course, as you know, in the city is still visible some part of the ancient hydraulic machine, like a sort of heritage of the ancient structure of the city. But of course, we could evaluate to restore these systems and to enlarge these systems, and why not to give a new sense to these systems, adding to the ancient Darsena and the ancient channel some new part of a new public space that could link the ancient one with the new one in a sort of not nostalgic memory about the past, but as a part of development of the planned project, in the way to reorganize the city using the water, not only for aesthetic nostalgic way. And there is some example. Why not, for example, take Martesana Channel and cover the square Lombardy region? You know, these buildings that is very big, and it could be organized close to Martesana Channel. Or why not make Milan ancient framework of visible those where, etc., etc. So there is some example of some possibility that it's open in the definition of future aspect and future public space of Milan. Or common space. As you know, that today in the city it prevails the idea of community and co-working, co-housing, etc. Why not evaluate, for example, the idea to organize in this common space some activity related to the water and reorganize again the quality of this public space, the quality of this inner courtyard, in the way to be capable to host some water tanks, some water pools, some element that collect water in a way to reorganize the space and help the people to approach the topic of the water in another way. And again, of course, in the building, water as a building component, you know, in the building, the presence of the water is very important. It's like our blood for us. And of course, also, even if because we lost many interesting kind of space in our home, that was an important character of some Mediterranean and European culture from Spain, Italy, etc., that we totally lost and disappeared from our home. And so why not to rethink in this way to recollect again this enormous value that was able to define a beautiful typology and a beautiful space.